Welcome to Mojo Talks, where we explore the world through stories. I'm Mayur Channagere, visual storyteller and your host. Today, we have Dr. Ankit Shah, widely known as the concept man of Sanatana economics. He has developed a civilization model of economics rooted in Indian wisdom, placing family, duty, community, and sustainability at its core. He has been invited and he's spoken at many prestigious institutions and also taught at IIM Ahmedabad. He's also been on platforms like the G20, Y20 track, CII, and has been on many such great platforms. He's also authored a book, Geopolitics, Decoding Intent, Narrative, Lies, and Future. But he is known for his accurate predictions of major national and global political events. So, I will not take much of your time. Let's get into conversation with Dr. Ankit Shah. Ankit ji, welcome to the show.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. To start with, it was a surreal meeting because most of the guests that I've had so far, I've known them at some point or the other. They have either been mentors, influenced my life in some way, guided me, and I've known them at a personal level. But with you, the first time I met you was at your talk. And that brief conversation that we had, I mean, there's so much to take in that day, I'll be very honest. I'm not a very great economics student. But that day, there was something that really connected. I said, boss, I wish to have him on my show. And you graciously accepted it. And we've been on we've been in touch and this thing. But somewhere it felt that there was some kind of a connection. I don't know what it is. I'll hope to figure that out soon. But today I want to start with something completely different. Of course, we'll come into the economics part and a lot of other discussions. But I want to know who is Ankit Shah? The genesis of Ankit Shah. And you're from Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
You're settled in Ahmedabad. But did you grow up in Ahmedabad? What's the...
No.
Okay.
So I'm born at Chennai. So that's my maternal place. Brought up and trained in Surat. And we shifted to Ahmedabad around 2012.
Okay.
If I'm to define myself, well, you can call a kind of a decolonized mind right from the birth, because a lot of education system which we are exposed to, fortunately, as an exception, I stayed untouched. At least till the 7th class, I was like non-serious about whatever that is going on.
Okay.
And a lot of what was going on seemed totally out of range from what education should look like.
Okay. And was that by model?
Oh, well, I could figure out that this is not...
That's not something for you.
No, because nothing in this world that should enhance your knowledge should come with pain or agony.
Correct.
It should not come by force.
Correct.
At the best, it should be actually fun.
Yeah.
Knowledge seeking should be fun.
Yeah.
If that is designed in a way wherein each individual feels empowered, learns something out of it, and is in sync with his natural abilities, it should be fun.
Correct. So what you're saying is, as long as you're enjoying something, automatically you want to learn.
True.
And your absorption of whatever it is in life.
And each human kid is capable of it, because everybody's got permutation combination of the same genes, right?
Yes.
So each human being should be good with 2-3 things naturally.
Naturally, yeah.
But this is kind of unnatural that you expect him to be good with 10 subjects or 12 subjects.
So on that, I'll like to share this. So I have 2 daughters, and my younger one is just about, she's a teen right now. And a couple of years back, I was like, you have to, ye sab exams aa rahe, itne sare pad rahe. And her statement was like, Nana, for every subject I had different teachers, and you expect me to learn everything. One person to know everything,
Oh,
but
she got it.
I couldn't argue with that. How can you argue with that?
So
Right?
the teacher is not good with all the
Subjects,
subjects.
how do you expect
You
me to?
expect the student to be.
Yeah. So I mean, very valid. So like I like what you said. Everyone's got about 2 or 3 points. It's areas or subject that kind of they enjoy and this thing. So for you, was it numbers or something else?
Mine was more into history kind of thing
Okay.
rather than numbers. And to my astonishment, whatever was written in history books did not make sense to me because I believe after reading the stuff that I read, because fortunately my father allowed me to buy as many books as I wanted outside the syllabus.
Beautiful.
So I had that freedom. So after reading, I realized that there's more truthful history in novels and autobiographies than in pure history books.
Very true. Very true.
So the more you read, the more you get disenchanted with whatever is happening around. Uh, Fortunately for me, I have an elder brother who's one class ahead.
Okay.
And he's the kind of a meritorious student back then.
Padaku.
Oh, ranker.
Ranker. Oh, okay. Not just Padaku, but ranker.
Topper in the class.
Okay.
So I escaped the tremendous scrutiny of what my result is going to be. So and being a younger one, obviously
always get away with it.
Younger one getaways with a lot of stuff. So I remember even when in the morning he used to completely get ready for the school with a water bag, uniform, everything. I'm still sleeping on my bed, and my mother would shout, "Have you counted all the crows in the window? Now go to the bath." She would shout this. She knows I've woken up. And now I'm at the window, looking at the trees.
Looking at the trees. क्या हो रहा है बाहर?
So, kind of decolonized in that sense, at least until the 7th class. This was the kind of routine. At least until my one fine day, the teacher scolded me saying, "Look at your brother. You're spoiling his name." And then I got a little serious about, no, this is not fair. Then I got a little serious, quite serious about the studies, but after 7th.
After 7th.
But till 7th, I had a big library of my own and I was into books only. And these were all books outside syllabus.
Nice.
So I was cut off from the classroom from the beginning. I mean, my mother would come to the principal and say, "Isko class se bahar nikala to punishment hai. अरे अंदर बिठाओ तो पनिशमेंट, बाहर निकाला तो ये घूमेगा." हाँ.
So you're an outstanding student.
हाँ, outstanding. Outstanding. At least until the 7th class.
Nice. I like what you said. You said there's more history in novels
And
autobiographies, right? And
because that explains the situation around that person.
Situation, the not just the situation, but also what was the environment. There's so much more description that goes into it. One. Second thing I find that interesting, especially in the last couple of years, decade or so, thanks to Amish ji and a lot of other writers, where they have simplified. Whether it's Ramayana, whether it is our Mahabharata, whether they've simplified it, made it more interesting.
That revolution started after 2014.
Correct.
Where, I mean, there were so many Indic voices that existed, nobody knew.
Correct.
And those Indic voices always felt, pressurized until 2014. Their thoughts were suppressed. After 2014, there's a lot of freedom to write, to talk, to speak openly about what ancient Bharat would be like. What happened was, in this period of colonization, and especially the burden of colonization, there came a gap where you don't know what ancient Bharat was.
Correct.
Just खाली सुना है कि बहुत अच्छा था
बस. कैसा था किसी को, it's again
bridge करने के लिए कोई नहीं था. So whatever attempts that are being made, be it Vikram Sampath, Amish Ji, Ami Ganatra, J.S.I. Deepak, so Sanjeev Sanyal, whatever Indic voices that now talking openly, that was something unexpected, unheard, and there's a lot of brutality expected before 2014 if you even speak
about
something
it.
about it.
Yeah.
I remember one fine day I wrote something on the Constitution on a Facebook post. It was National Constitution Day, something like that. And I wrote, it's a National Cut Copy Paste Day. And that day, there were like, dozens of complaints that came from.
You were trolled.
No, complaints.
Complaints. Oh, okay. Not just trolls.
No,
Beyond.
how dare you talk about this constitution? How can you talk about it, right?
Wow.
So those were the times. We've steered away from that.
Which is good.
Yes.
Because I know that many of the kids, younger kids, have actually started reading such books. They're able to relate. And it's kind of now, that's a process where now they're interested, okay, let me go deeper now. Which will then lead to the actual scriptures, the books.
More things coming out.
More things will come out, and which is fantastic. I'm so glad that happened. Right? We have seen that in the West. Books being written, they've made Da Vinci Code. Many of those, even before Da Vinci Code, they were.
Well, we were made to read their success stories, irrespective of letting us know that their success was about our destruction.
Correct.
And we wonder why would we have to study their success stories? Why small kids are dancing on "Rain, Rain, Go Away"? I mean, Baba Black
Baba
Sheep.
Black
I
Sheep.
mean, well, this is not a winter country. Why would rain go away in India? I mean, it's utter nonsense, right?
Yeah.
So our kids dancing on those things almost looks like and kind of a cartoonish, clownish show how parents used to make small children celebrate Western success.
Western success. Yes.
Which is our destruction, by the way. It's not even just Western success, it is our destruction. Their only golden age was the dark age for us. That's what E.M. Jaishankar ji also said.
Yes.
Right. So why have we to celebrate that? We have to find out a celebration for what our models were.
We have so many. And so actually, there's a question that I've parked, which will lead to that, which will speak about it. So you said, okay, till 7th, then you got serious. Then how did you... So one is what happened next in terms of education. I'm guessing commerce, then CAs.
Yes.
Okay.
So Gujaratis in general are into an enterprising streak.
Correct.
So
It's in the DNA.
So math and numbers. I mean, I would remember as a kid, my father would say everything is a math. खाने का है तो गिनती करने का है, बैठने का है तो उसमें भी गिनती होता है, हर एक चीज़ में गिनती होता है. And they would tell us how when they were kids, they used to know tables of 1.5 and 1/4 and 3/4 tables, and I'm like, मम्मा तो simple भी नहीं हो रहा है.
आप 1/4 की बात कर रहे हो.
और अब से फिर then we had calculators.
Yes.
तो अब जितना टेक्नोलॉजी आ रहा है उतना ऑर्गन फेलियर्स इंक्रीजिंग. ओवरऑल इट्स अ पीरियड ऑफ ऑर्गन फेलियर, राइट? जितना टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज़ करोगे इट्स ऑर्गन फेलियर. दैट मच ब्रेन यू आर नॉट यूजिंग. तो जब से स्मार्टफोन्स आया है, आई मीन बिफोर दैट वी कुड रिमेंबर 30 फोन नंबर्स इजीली ऑन आवर टिप्स.
आज हमारा नंबर याद रहता है.
हाँ, मुश्किल से. So the more the technology, the more the organ failure. So we've seen this changes that has come, and now the questions are about AI.
Correct. I think I can confidently say ours is a generation where we have seen all. We've seen the advent of computers, internet, to AI, to what's going to happen next. And we are the special generation. We've tasted both. And we know it is.
Correct.
So you mentioned about your father, like, he was very good with numbers, and he said, हर चीज गिनती में होना चाहिए. What is the family background? What did your father do, mother do?
So my father is a businessman. From the beginning, he also had this enterprising ही होता है. Right. He had his graduation in Mumbai.
Okay.
And then we shifted to Surat, and then he had his own printing press business.
Wow. Okay.
But he was keen on, just like all parents. I remember him telling us, colonization, you imagine the kind of colonization that would be at that time. To get my brother's admission in English medium,
Huh.
he had given a blank check those days.
Wow. Just because to get into English medium.
Imagine
Oh God.
that those days blank check. जो number डालना है डालो. My son will
मगर
English
मीडियम में जाना है उसको.
So you imagine, I mean, most parents are not aware of how geopolitics function, and those were the days when regional languages were looked down upon.
Correct.
Which still lingers, by the way.
Still lingers to a major extent.
As far as this de-dollarization process does not complete.
Complete.
Till then it remains. So we witnessed how all the Gujarati medium schools vanishing right in front of us. Right, 500, 1,000 schools vanishing just like that.
Wow.
Because nobody wants to go there. Because English language was what with which you attach your self-esteem.
Correct.
That's how colonization affected.
So we have seen that in multiple scenarios. Like especially when when we do these documentaries in rural areas, and when we speak to the parents, when we speak to especially the mother, and उनका ख्वाहिश यही होता है कि चलो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल है, कन्नड़ा मीडियम है या तेलुगु मीडियम है, जो भी है, मगर मेरे बच्चे को इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़ाना है. एंड दे विल सेल देयर लैंड वॉट एवर, बट उसको इंग्लिश मीडियम में भेजना है. बट वी ऑल्सो हैड वन ऑफ अवर गेस्ट, मिस्टर KP नागेश जी, who was a retired wing commander. He studied in Kannada medium through and through. Then he, like वो बोलते हैं ना, absolute stubbornness. He learnt English when I think it was when he went to degree to do his engineering.
Almost it becomes compulsory that you have to shift.
You have to shift, but it was that bullheadedness. I will learn English. He got into the Air Force. He retired. Now he's gone back to his roots of giving back, and he says, "Boss, I will train you in Kannada."
So I think a lot of push from the government right now at this point in time to guide universities and colleges to convert the syllabus into regional languages, particularly in this view of change of the global world order.
Yes.
But I don't think the professors or the teachers are even in that, what should we say, even in that phase of understanding why it is so critical and putting that kind of efforts. तो as a language पढ़ा देंगे.
Correct.
कन्नड़ और तमिल और whatever.
और हिंदी और.
But engineering को कन्नड़ में पढ़ाना है, उसके लिए जो effort चाहिए, that's not coming despite the push from the top.
But they're not equipped also. Are they? They're not. Because they themselves have studied in English medium.
They are output from the same.
That colonized
Correct.
mentality, right? So I don't think they
So it's like a back end from when the push comes from the market, then this change.
Then there was change. But also you spoke through our conversation today, through the day, you also spoke about how English will become redundant and local languages. So one is the geopolitical part of it. But then if I were to keep all that aside, with technology today, you don't really have to rely on English.
No, it's just that the operating system is still on English. So once the operating languages, the LLMs and the coding languages are able to be written in local languages, the story is over.
Story is over. One is the coding, the business part of it. There's even conversation, right? If I don't know anything else but English and at least we know multiple Indian languages. But recently Apple announced this AirPods which can translate. It might not be the best, but it's getting
It will evolve.
It will evolve.
So that's exactly what is happening on the global scene. Technology itself is replacing the US dollar and English language both.
Correct.
So it's like they began with colonization, but now technology is at that point where they are reversing both the usages. So if the payment mechanisms are linked for all the countries, just like we just had a headline of India Mauritius local currencies trade, and Israel announcing that we are interested in UPI.
Correct.
Now once the payment mechanisms are linked, I am making payment in rupees, the Israeli is getting in shekels, you don't require another currency in the middle.
You don't need the currency, you don't need the bank system. It's direct.
Yeah. So similarly with the languages, if I'm speaking in Hindi and the Chinese is able to listen in Mandarin real time, then you don't require English language in the middle. And that's exactly what happened, by the way, at the SEO summit, right? Putin came with a translator who was speaking in Hindi, right? So then you don't require English in
it's already happening.
Oh, decolonization is happening.
Already happening. One thing that I definitely want to touch, the reason, so you said you grew up in a business family, and of course, it's there in the DNA. You also widely speak about how it is important about family businesses. That is something which is your pet topic that you talk about. And in one of with the current trend where, it's all about the generation which wants to build businesses to exit, which is startup, valuation game, paisa banao, exit. And
Quick exit.
Quick exit.
Quick exit, quick cash.
Quick cash, quick profits. But very few people go back and invest in other businesses. But I still believe that it takes generations to build a legacy. And that is something which you speak about.
True.
So if you were to talk to an entrepreneur today, and if you were to share your thoughts on what are the key values of building a long-term legacy, a business, what does it take?
So the first thing that you need to build a legacy business is to get a correct mother for your children. So if you do not have a proper mothering happening, what has happened is, over a period of time, a lot of family businesses where fathers have gotten too busy into minting money, their next generation turned out completely woke.
Correct.
And they are not interested in continuing the legacy business, and that's absolutely fine if the legacy business is not in tune with the requirements of the current scenarios.
With the aspirations.
That's okay. But the fathering has been so much absent that they've become so comfortable with whatever the legacy business existed that they couldn't match with the changing market conditions. Points where you need to diversify your business by grooming the next generation with proper fathering.
Correct.
And then what happens if only mothering is what is going to happen, these children would, as you rightly pointed out, they just want to open up a family,
Family office.
family fund, investing into somebody else's business and want to live a comfortable life without putting in any efforts. So that is what we are observing.
But we also, from our history, I'm not just talking about the business history. When we look back, when we were under the princely states, when there were kingdoms, when you go back and look at Kautilya's Arthashastra, right? There's so many lessons to be learned there, right? And they're applicable today. Maybe the examples or the way they were narrated were relevant to that point, but if you were to remove that and put that same lessons in today's scenario, they still apply.
They still do. So one of the very funny thing about Arthashastra is the English the regional translation of economist is Arthashastri. Whereas when Chanakya wrote Arthashastra, economics is a tiny portion of it.
Very small. Yes, very small. I know.
So the regional translation says all Arthashastris, economists are Arthashastri. No. These guys, modern economics is a subject which is a standalone kind of education which is being given. उसको interdisciplinary तो पढ़ा ही नहीं रहे. So the Indian dharmic formula is none of the discipline is standalone.
Yes.
Each thing is connected with the other. This is a Western template of education format where each discipline is standalone basis. वो एक एक्सपर्ट को पता ही नहीं कि दूसरे के डोमेन में क्या चल
क्या
रहा है.
चल रहा है? Okay.
Whereas actually it is impacting the other domain.
Yes.
So what has happened is कि a lot of Adam Smith or Karl Marx economics theory, when you look at those models, even those books, they do not mention the word family, right? Whereas because for Adam Smith's capitalism, where it is looking for the fundamentals are looking for establishing economies of scale and division of labor. So it is fundamentally cutting out entrepreneurship. It is saying that only a few entrepreneurs will exist, बाकी सबने जॉब करना है.
जॉब करना.
इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल मीन्स बाकी सबने जॉब करना है.
Correct.
राइट, क्योंकि बाकी सबको आप कस्टमर देख रहे हो. राइट. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इन दिस मॉडल इज दे एंड अप डिस्ट्रॉइंग फैमिलीज with the job model. I mean, if you just look at the data, it is only the office job going families which look at children as a liability. You will not find enterprising families looking at children as liability because उन्होंने wealth continue करना है. इन्होंने wealth continue नहीं करना है, ये तो one life के लिए जी रहे हैं. उनको तो बस मोबाइल बदलना है, लैपटॉप बदलना है, वेकेशन पे जाना है. So all the job going states or states which prefer job model, these are the states where human beings are living a life just for survival. उसमें innovation होना ही नहीं है. It's a zero innovation society because a jobber has no incentive to innovate. उसको क्या फायदा? वो क्यों ओरिजिनल रिसर्च करे? उसको कहाँ प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है? Right. So the Britishers devised this format of classroom to jobs to convert colonies into permanent poor societies जो जिसका सर्वाइवल मुश्किल से हो पा रहा है, उसका EMI भर रहा है बस. Well, that's all about it. Right. So for a jobber, the only person he has to make happy is the employer. His wife, his children doesn't even figure out for at least for the 10 hours in the day. बाद में जो भी हो, at least for the 10 hours उसके लिए ना wife important है ना बच्चे important है. So this kind of a society cannot give any kind of innovation. If you want innovation, तो आपका एजुकेशन फॉर्मेट का प्रेफरेंस एंटरप्राइजिंग होना चाहिए. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि सब एंटरप्राइजिंग हो जाएंगे. That's stupid to even think. But प्रायोरिटी एंटरप्राइजिंग होना चाहिए आउटपुट. राइट. सो a lot of education institutions, when you look at their marketing gimmick, they publicly print campus placement figures. They say देखो हमारे यहाँ के बच्चे को इतना पैकेज मिल रहा है. Even institutions who are into skilling, if you look at the billboards, they are saying that ये बच्चे का ये रैंक आया. They are not saying अगर आर्किटेक्चर का इंस्टीट्यूशन है या डिज़ाइन का इंस्टीट्यूशन है तो वो ये नहीं बता रहा है कि भाई हमारे बच्चे ने 10 रुपये का कॉइन डिज़ाइन किया. उसका बिल बोर्ड नहीं है. वो बोल रहे कि इतना पैकेज मिला,
इतना रैंकिंग मिला. It's
numbers. And this kills the innovation, the spirit of innovation and the curiosity of the students. तो ये मॉडल इट डजेंट वर्क फॉर द लॉन्ग टर्म और ये परपेचुअली पुअर सोसाइटी बना रहा है. इट्स नॉट एन इनोवेशन बेस्ड सोसाइटी. यहाँ पे आपको इनोवेशन नहीं मिलेगा. आपको यहाँ पे जॉब करने वाला ही मिलेगा और वो भी नाउ यू टेल मी ये मॉडल कब तक चलेगा जहाँ पे कंपनीज ये बोल रही है कि हम तो AI और ऑटोमेशन करने वाले हैं. नाउ यू टेल मी कि पेरेंट्स अपने पैसे जो सेविंग्स हैं वो स्टॉक मार्केट में लगा रहे हैं. What that goes to show is कि उसका बच्चा पैसे लगाने लायक नहीं है.
It's not worth investing in them.
No.
So let me invest somewhere where.
Yeah. So जितना स्टॉक मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन है that shows एजुकेशन सेक्टर उतना कोलैप्स ऑलरेडी कर चुका है. मतलब पेरेंट्स ने इतने पैसे लगाए हैं फीस में, उसके बावजूद पेरेंट्स को कंफर्म पता है कि उसका बच्चा पैसे लगाने लायक नहीं है. That's what it shows. Now tell me, these very same companies are saying कि हम automation करेंगे, AI लगाएंगे. मतलब वो आपके बच्चे को जॉब भी देने को तैयार नहीं है.
Correct.
You look at this, when you mix this two data,
When you see the whole trend,
when you look at this cash flows, पेरेंट्स बोल रहे हैं कि मेरा बेटा जो है वो पैसे लगाने लायक एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन में से निकल नहीं रहा है, उसके पास ऐसा कोई स्किल है ही नहीं जो मैं इसमें पैसे लगाऊं. और कंपनीज कह रही है कि मैं तो ऑटोमेट कर रहा हूं, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू गिव जॉब्स. In this scenario where we are heading towards, you tell me as a society, should we be buying products of these companies? You tell
You
me.
don't.
मुझे बताओ आप.
you can't. I mean, you shouldn't, because वो पैसा जा रहा है किसी और के.
So this is the problem with both the economic models, Adam Smith and Karl Marx. तो पहले एडम स्मिथ सबका एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप तोड़ के ब्रिटिशर्स के टाइम पे 100% टैक्स, 300% टैक्स लगा के सारा वुमन लेड एटलीस्ट 3 सेक्टर्स तो मुझे अभी डेटा शोज, मैंने तो क्या बोलना है, डेटा बता रहा है कि इन्वेडर्स आने से पहले इंडियन वीमेन वर द रिचेस्ट बिजनेस टाइकून्स ऑन अर्थ. एटलीस्ट 3 सेक्टर्स आर वेरी क्लियर. वन इज ज्वेलरी, सेकेंड इज स्पाइसेस एंड थर्ड इज टेक्सटाइल. ये तीनों में इंडियन बिजनेस वीमेन वर द रिचेस्ट बिजनेस टाइकून्स ऑन अर्थ. अब मुझे ये बताओ कि ये फैमिली यूनिट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप तोड़ने के लिए 100%, 300% टैक्स डाल के, इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज इम्पोज करके, सबको इलिटरेट बना के, 3 घंटे मेमोरी टेस्ट करके सबको स्किल लेस कर दिया गया है, जहाँ पे आज एक फैमिली जो है एक पेंसिल या रबर भी नहीं बना सकती 5 फैमिली मेंबर मिल के. Zero productivity.
And interesting that you should also mention, Ankit ji, because if you look back at 1600s to 1700s, GDP wise, India was the top.
So for 1800 years, from the last 2000, on an average 27% alone.
And then behind us was China.
Correct.
Then came the industrialization, then came the colonization, and then it just went. Why did that happen? Why is that when they left? One is, of course, the loot, the taxation, everything. How can we revive that? How can we get back? So one, you spoke about skills, about, getting away from that colonized mentality, being self-sufficient. And we also, when we look back then, whether it is India, whether it's China, or even, to a large extent, you look at the Roman belt, the Roman Empire, they were always a society of surplus, right? And then exports, imports, whatever was more went. But things changed after that. In today's scenario, when you see the way the geopolitics is going, what are your views on where are we headed?
Well, at least for the next 5 years, it looks like a disorder. You're already seeing how President Trump and his team throwing tantrums each day. Once again, they are calling us a partner.
True.
So by morning, we are a partner. By evening, we become enemy. By noon, they are like sanction करते हैं तुमको. So it looks like के next 4-5 years तो पूरा disorder है. उसमें absolutely there's no doubt about it. All the indications are present. Whether the headlines come out completely in open or not, but it almost looks like, and tier 1 cities are already feeling the heat.
Yes.
If you know it or not. But ये जो 12 लाख का इनकम टैक्स का जो बेनिफिट दिया गया है, टू माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस इज द लास्ट इंजेक्शन
infused into the economy.
Last injection given to the tier 1 cities. The way forward from here, obviously the chaos is much larger for the rest of the world, but हमें भी इसको sail through तो करने का ही है, right? Because we have a youth population which is bigger. We are the largest population anyways. So a lot of economic maneuvering would be required in this 4-5 years from the government side as well. And from the society, as I said, people will have to start thinking, if I am going to empower my neighbor by buying his product, or should I buy that company's product which is not going to give even a job to my child?
Correct.
So these questions are going to prop up. Also, this model of spending, to hyper consumerism that has come from the West. By the way, it's not ours; it has come from the West.
Correct.
That also is going to be questioned, because a lot of tier 1 cities where this debt based model has become prevalent now, copying the West.
Correct. Correct.
Um,
Living off the credit card.
it has come from there. This is not our philosophy at all.
Because our philosophy was always save.
Well, because Dharma is talking about being content with, uh, without harming anything which is in the nature.
Correct.
So that's not how religions came about. So religions were born at geographies where there were they were hardly doing survival.
Correct. They were in a survival mode. Whether it is Christianity, whether it's
Islam.
Desert
Desert region.
region. So there was that's interesting. Because that region, when I look back, surplus versus that, when we talk about it, it's interesting because they always had to survive. Hence
the eye on you.
They
came searching for
you.
So first the Islamic invasions happened because they were looking at, भाई ऐसा टेक्सटाइल आ कहाँ से रहा है. जब ये क्वालिटी का टेक्सटाइल हमको बेचा जा रहा है, मतलब जहाँ से आ रहा है वहाँ पे लोग कौन सी क्वालिटी का टेक्सटाइल पहन रहे हैं.
It must be superior.
Much superior.
Yes.
So first the Islamic invasions happened, and then the Westerns were also attracted कि भाई ऐसा spices आ कहाँ से रहा है जिसका पेमेंट गोल्ड में लिया जा रहा है.
Correct.
So they came searching for us, and they were hungry.
Yeah.
And we were at a stage, in terms of, if you look at life cycle of nations, we were quite aged compared to these recent born ones. And these people were hungry. They were brutal. They consolidated their brutal power and attacked us.
Correct.
And we were into an advanced governance of autonomous liberty to each of the kingdoms.
Yeah. Correct.
तो हमारा डिफेंस सेंटर में कंसोलिडेटेड नहीं था. ऊपर से व्हाट हैपेंस इज, जैसे हर एक डिफेंस मिनिस्टर को अगर उसको बजट जस्टिफाई करवाना है तो बाजू वाले के साथ थोड़ा थोड़ा स्टार्ट चालू रखना पड़ता है. फ्रिक्शन. सो ईच ऑफ आवर जनपदर्स, सिंस डिफेंस वाज नॉट सेंट्रलाइज्ड, आपने वो भी छूट दे दी. तो एक एक राजा का डिफेंस मिनिस्टर जो है वो बाजू वाले का जाके उंगली कर रहा है, बजट जस्टिफाई करना है. And they saw this loophole that these two are fighting, let's go in between.
Very interesting. You talk about ungli karna in terms of neighbors.
And mostly, in ancient times, this was about the cows have to eat this grass, right? The grasslands. तो fight basically यही था कि मेरी गायों को वहाँ तक मिलेगा कि नहीं access.
But no, my question is, did the West pick up that formula or from that playbook? And again, going back to
divide and rule,
and going back to what we were talking earlier.
Two bucket
theory of this thing. Is this something that they picked from that playbook, or it's just that they said, okay, something that might work?
No, this is, I think, in this mandala theory, it's already mentioned. Your neighbor's neighbor is your...
Correct. Neighbor's neighbor is your...
Mandala theory में clear बोला है ये. So most of the things they have picked from our stuff only, right? जैसे in Ramayana you see कि the Vanar Sena came from the entire world. लेकिन none of the Ayodhya Vasi fought the battle, but Ayodhya Vasi won the battle. Army किसी और का use करके you are winning the war. Right. So they have taken leaf out of our, और हम भी regime change operation करते थे, in the sense हमने विभीषण को बिठाया रावण को हटा के. The only difference is कि भारत धर्म स्थापना के लिए करता है regime change, ये लोग regime change वो नेशन को लूटने के लिए करते हैं.
For their own profitability.
That's the difference between the Bharatiya model and their model of regime change operations.
Interesting. I want to again go back to my other question. The family business, because that is something which I've been itching to talk to you about. And I think I want to kind of base today's discussion around that. For two reasons. One, when I look back and when I look at my own family on my father's side, three generations, I'm the fourth. The first two generations came from nothing, worked hard, slogged it out. So we were from a small town. अभी भी जहाँ वहाँ जाते when I say Channagere family, अरे सेठ आ गया. But reality of this generation is different, right? So somewhere we missed the bus. Somewhere we went wrong. It was we had the surplus as we were talking. We had the surplus, but we went wrong somewhere. I'm just hoping that you can share some thoughts in terms of that as to how you retain what you have, how you grow, but at the same time, I know that you have spoken extensively about it is not just one family growing or one business growing. With that grows your community.
Correct.
Right? It's that whole cycle. I wanted to share your thoughts on that, especially for those families which have this legacy or inherited wealth. How do they retain it? How do they grow it? And why is it important to do that?
So, if you look at the macro view of this, what happened was the entire governance structure which was imposed was Adam Smith and Karl Marx.
Correct.
So, private sector companies and the state. Both of them were built by destroying family and community. So, there are four parts. There is Adam Smith's private sector companies. There's Karl Marx state. Third is family. And fourth is community. So the first two destroyed the other two to build itself.
Yes.
Okay, तो जो पेरेंट्स का टेक केयर मुझे करना चाहिए, स्टेट बोल रहा है कि हम करेंगे वो चीज़ें, तो यू कैन किक आउट योर चिल्ड्रन. दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड इन द यूएस. राइट. स्टेट बोल रहा है कि आप बूढ़े होते हो तो डोंट रिलाई ऑन योर चिल्ड्रन, वो लायक है ही नहीं, वैसे कौन सा आपकी सुनते हैं, तो उनको निकालो घर से. हम तुमको रिटायरमेंट का बेनिफिट देंगे, मेडिकेट देंगे, तुम बूढ़े हो जाओगे, आई विल टेक केयर
ऑफ यू.
स्टेट इज सेइंग, कार्ल मार्क्स इज सेइंग आई विल टेक केयर. ओके. एडम स्मिथ जो है वो यंगस्टर को लेके जाता है, बोलता है चल मैं तेरे को इंडिविजुअलिज्म की सैर कराता हूँ, तेरा दादा तो टॉक्सिक पैट्रियार्की है. राइट. सो बोथ ऑफ देम डिस्ट्रॉयड द स्टेट एंड द प्राइवेट सेक्टर कंपनीज डिस्ट्रॉयड योर फैमिली. तो जो सेक्रीफाइसेस पेरेंट्स ने बच्चों के लिए करनी चाहिए, बच्चों ने ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के लिए करनी चाहिए, जिससे एंटरप्राइजिंग मॉडल कंटिन्यू रहता है लीगेसी, वो सेक्रीफाइस हम किसी और से करवाना चाह रहे हैं. द स्टेट एंड द प्राइवेट सेक्टर कंपनीज आर सेइंग कि वो रोल हम कर लेंगे, इनको निकाल
दो. हाँ. इंटरेस्टिंग. सो आई एम जस्ट थिंकिंग इन अ वेरी पैरेलल लाइन. They broke the united family. You know, if I were to put a consumeristic tag to it, now a family, a joint family of let's say even 10, that means you're buying one car, one washing machine, one TV.
It's the least consumerist society.
Right?
Least consumerist, most innovative, and most enterprising, and most savings.
More savings. So they broke that.
Now
and that led, so from 10 people in a family now, even if you take 2, that's 2 families, 5. That means now they have 5 potential.
That's how real estate went up. That's exactly how real estate went up. Because each individual now wants a separate bedroom, separate kitchen, separate car, separate TV. अब बेडरूम में भी टीवी दे रहे हैं, राइट. वेस्ट में तो छोटे बच्चे को द डॉक्टर्स एज इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द बर्थ द डॉक्टर्स आर सेइंग कि उसको अलग सुलाओ. तो वहाँ से कंज्यूमरिज्म वो स्टार्ट कर दिए हैं. एंड दिस इवन द NRIs हु अंडरस्टैंड इंडियन फिलोसॉफीज, दे आर लाइक कैमरा लगाते बच्चा रो रहा है, डॉक्टर बोल रहा है नहीं उसके पास मत जाओ, रोने दो, 5-6 घंटे रोएगा, थक के सो जाएगा.
You're building resilience.
Building a customer. building a customer. So that is how companies have seeped into your personal lives to the extent now it's cats and dogs instead of husband and wife.
Correct. So sorry, we kind of diverse. I want to go back to the
Yeah.
original discussion. So it started with the society with saying that okay, the state saying I'm going to take care.
So how would the state attract you for this kind of a lifestyle? Because they get a benefit of how you are going to vote. Right? तो कार्ल मार्क्स को पता है क्या लालच देना है. Right? So a lot of states where you see freebies being declared.
Yes.
जहाँ freebies declare होता है, the state goes bankrupt. And then where the money comes from, obviously more taxes later,
which they don't realize.
No, people know उनकी पॉकेट से फ्री क्या होता है, उनकी पॉकेट से जा रहा है बाद में. But you imagine the amount of destruction it causes in families. जहाँ पे आप freebies दे रहे हो, सबसे पहले तो आपने उसको अनप्रोडक्टिव बना दिया. अब वो सारे लेबर इंटेंसिव जॉब रोल्स जो इस लेबर पे डिपेंडेंट थे, उस कंपनी उस बिजनेसेस को आपने ठप किया. राइट? तो दिस इज एन एंडलेस लूप टूवर्ड्स पॉवर्टी. राइट? अनप्रोडक्ट, अब उसको आप फ्री में दे रहे हो, उसको आदत हो गई. अभी नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन में नहीं मिलेगा तो यू लूजिंग द
vote bank.
So basically the Indian philosophy is, because we didn't had this vote bank pattern of governance, the Indian philosophy is it's only you have only the right to ask sacrifices from your brother, sister and your parents and grandparents. That's all. That's your circle of demanding sacrifices. बट ये अब बाहर जाके आउटसोर्स कर दिए हैं दोनों, एडम स्मिथ और कैपिटलिज्म. एडम स्मिथ तो बोल रहा है कि अब तो आप यहीं पे बेड लगा लो, घर पे जाने की ज़रूरत क्या है, जो 10 घंटे बैठे ही हो वैसे भी जॉब में हैं, यहाँ पे वहाँ से घर जाओगे, उससे अच्छा यहीं पे बेड लगा के सो जाओ. मेरा ही काम करो. हस्बैंड वाइफ का काम क्या है आपको. सो दिस इज हाउ दे डिस्ट्रॉयड फैमिलीज. सो इफ यू आर टू आस्क मी how do we reverse, like if I am to give you an example of how ancient Bharat used to function, just an example of if we want to go towards that path, it is the murtis of the mandir who are supposed to be the richest people on the planet. That's what I say, that the top 100 list of richest should be the murtis, the Bhagwan, because if an individual is going to fall into the richest people or family or state or a company, they will first prepare a vaccine and then spread the virus. So if you want to curb the arrogance of Adam Smith, it is only the Murti of the Bhagwan which can do it. So specific kind of transaction should happen via the Murti. Say for example, Gurukuls. So the gurus are not supposed to take direct money from the students. The community is supposed to put the money at the feet of the Bhagwan, and the Bhagwan is supposed to sponsor the research and the living of the gurus. If the students come to know who is sponsoring this fees, they are going to act arrogant like Adam Smith. मेरा father तो ये है, हमने fees pay करी है, तो teachers को नचा रहे हैं. This is exactly what is happening, customer service provider relationship in the education system right now. And this kind of teachers are never going to get the respect which gurus used to get, because the child is seeing how much sacrifices the parents are doing to pay that hefty fees. They are never going to respect this kind of teachers ever.
Correct.
Okay. So the fund always have to move through the Murti of the Bhagwan, so that nobody comes to know who's paid it. And second, just to cover, and nobody is supposed to feel entitled as well, like Karl Marx, कि ये तो मेरा हक ही है, which is why in a Gurukul there's no difference between a rich student and a poor student.
Correct.
और मंदिर में प्रसाद ही मिलेगा. There's no direct freebie product.
Correct.
Okay, तो आपकी बॉडी को एम्पावर किया जा रहा है कि फूड सिक्योरिटी आपका मेंटेन कर रहा है, नॉट द स्टेट. The community is
taking
securing
care-
this.
Yeah.
Unknown people.
Huh.
Unknown people via the murti of the Bhagwan is securing the food security of the entire nation. तो किसी को कार्ल मार्क्स की तरह फ्री में गवर्नमेंट से कुछ नहीं मांगने का है. हाँ, the Raja can donate something to the occasionally when the festivals come, and because by law he is also the slave of the Bhagwan.
Correct. And like you said, that's interesting, right? When you go look at history, when you go back and look at our temples were the center of they were the bank. They were the center of
They were the center of everything.
Everything. The finance to economics, everything. So where the temple used to be there, that's where within the temple premises you would have gurukuls. The same temple would finance
Community center, banking, everything. Agriculture.
Healthcare, everything, agriculture. And because of that, the peripheral, the community was built around that, and it thrived. And because they were, like you said, and everything came into that anonymously, nobody felt entitled, everyone was equal, and everyone thrived. Why can't we have...
Which is why there is not a single brand name, despite 27% GDP.
Yes.
There's not a single brand name, because it was not mass manufacturing. It was manufacturing by masses.
I
Right?
like that.
It was not mass manufacturing, it was manufacturing
Manufacturing
by
by the
masses.
masses.
Which means each family or a community unit is producing its own customized product, not a standardized product.
Yes.
Customized product. And each of this customized product would have only the elite of the foreign countries able to afford to buy those. That's how it was designed as exports, not a standardized product.
And that's what made it special. That's what demanded premium.
That will be the only way you have an innovative society. Standardized product में क्या innovation है?
हाँ, एक बंदा बनाया, सब वही copy paste किया, हो गया.
There is no innovation. There is no incentive to innovate for jobbers. उसको क्या लेना देना, उसका salary मिल रहा है, गाड़ी घुमा दी 10 घंटा.
वो जो, even at that time, I'm sure they were jobbers.
Certainly.
But
But that was seen as the lowest priority. Outcome.
Outcome. Yeah.
And the parents themselves were so skillful. आज के पेरेंट्स तो दे आर लाइक मुझे नेक्स्ट ईयर का सिलेबस मेरे को कुछ नहीं आता है.
खुद पढ़ लो, ट्यूशन जाओ.
वो दूसरों को ही करूँ, मेरे बस का नहीं है. राइट. सो द पेरेंट्स वर सो मच एम्पावर्ड दैट दे वर देमसेल्व्स रनिंग एंटरप्राइजिंग. तो वो तो टेक्नोलॉजी में पीछे कैसे छूट सकते हैं इफ दे आर देमसेल्व्स डूइंग बिजनेस. राइट. So, which is what I say in the Sanatana economics model, the education begins from the womb of the mother. The first 5% education is when you are in the womb of your mother. That's what Dharma says. गर्भ संस्कार, जिसको अब ये चुरा के अब फीटल लर्निंग फैंसी नाम देते हैं. फीटल लर्निंग बोला तो अच्छा लग रहा है, तो गर्भ संस्कार बोले
ना.
तो ऑर्थोडॉक्स है, तो कम्युनल है. So 5% is that. Next 60% is the family members. 10% is Gurukul. And then the remaining is real deep diving in the market. By the student himself. तो गुरुकुल में भी आपका कोई 3 घंटे का मेमोरी टेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है. Okay, only when you have successfully demonstrated the skill for which the guru has tested कि तुम्हारा पात्रता है सीखने को, बाद में यू गेट द एडमिशन. जैसे अभी फिल्टरिंग के लिए एडमिशन टेस्ट होता है, गुरु विल चेक कि इसका पात्रता है भी या नहीं कि मैं सिखाऊं. ओके, द स्टूडेंट हैज दिस एबिलिटी राइट बोलने को कि बिकॉज इट्स वॉज कॉल्ड वर्ण करना, मतलब स्टूडेंट खुद बोल रहा है कि मेरे को इसमें इंटरेस्ट है, बट द गुरु विल एसेस कि इसका पात्रता है या नहीं और कितना सिखाना है वो भी.
करेक्ट.
नॉट लाइक ऑल स्टूडेंट गेट ऑल टेक्नोलॉजी.
यस.
नो. राइट. सो वो स्किल जो सीखने आया है वो सक्सेसफुली डेमोन्स्ट्रेट हो जाए, उसके बाद डायरेक्ट गुरु कुछ ले सकता है, जिसको गुरु दक्षिणा बोला जाता है स्टूडेंट से. टिल देन स्टूडेंट से कुछ नहीं ले सकते.
हाउ कैन वी रेप्लिकेट दैट इन बिजनेस टुडे?
हाँ, So mostly what happens is as we see कि community को powerful करना पड़ेगा. Now community का ऐसा है as we know that there are very few economists who have this bent of mind जहाँ पे उनको समझ में आता है कि धर्म का क्या connection economics के साथ है. Very few people
Very few,
left,
yeah.
right? तो I remember गुरुमूर्ति जी का कोर्स है Indian Models of Business. So probably some time back he was not able to give dates. So I have taken that course as a faculty in one of the university. So जैसे ही I started with that course, immediate question student का आया कि सर आप तो कास्टिज्म की बात कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
You look at the counter question. Because when you said कि successful business models, Indian model of business, successful ones, when you quote those businesses, examples, तो सामने स्टूडेंट, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट का ब्रेन वॉश लेफ्टिस्ट हो रखा है. ओके, बाकी के फैकल्टीज क्या पढ़ा के गए वी नो.
Correct.
सो इमीडिएट क्वेश्चन आया, सर आप तो ये बोल रहे हैं ना नेपोटिज्म, फैमिली वाला नेपोटिज्म बोल रहे हैं. अच्छा, अपने बच्चे को ही सिखाने का है. अच्छा, हाँ, और फिर अच्छा ये बिजनेस को अपनी कम्युनिटी में ही रखने का है, कास्ट की बात कर रहे हैं. सो द लेफ्टिस्ट आर सो प्रिपेयर्ड टू काउंटर यू. दे वांट टू एंश्योर कि स्टेट और प्राइवेट सेक्टर कंपनीज को यू शुडंट बी एबल टू चैलेंज, वरना वो फैमिली वापस बिल्डअप हो जाएगा. हाँ, बिकॉज अगर पता लग गया कि इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का प्रॉफिट दादाजी के पास होना चाहिए था, है फूड प्रोडक्ट्स का प्रॉफिट वो मम्मी के पास होना चाहिए है, पता लग जाएगा सारा का सारा. फार्मा तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए था वो खर्चा, मेडिकल वाला. तो जब पता लग जाएगा कि इतनी सारी इंडस्ट्री फैमिली और कम्युनिटी को तोड़ के बनी गई है और ये सारा प्रॉफिट तो मेरे दादाजी का होना चाहिए था. If students realize this, that is a problem. So both Karl Marx and Adam Smith has ensured कि तुमको टॉक्सिक पेट्रियार्की बोलने का या तो फिर फ्यूडल कास्टिज्म बोल के यू डोंट ट्राई टू लर्न एनीथिंग, एम्पावर एनीथिंग, विच इज़ वाई इन द ब्रिटिश क्लासरूम फॉर्मेट टुडे पेरेंट्स बेचारा डर डर के जाता है स्कूल. मतलब उसको बुलाया, बेचारा डर रहा है. Parents are scared of the principal. You imagine somebody who's might be working, say suppose someone is working in a prime minister's office. May I come in?
वो डर के जा रहा है.
Like what? है नर्सरी के टीचर के सामने. So this is how they created this entire thing कि parents तो डम्ब ही है, उसमें से क्या सीखने का है. This is the environment they have created. So even successful businesses, they have been bombarded with so much screen content कि मैन को लग रहा है कि मेरा घर में कोई रोल ही नहीं है, मेरा खाली एटीएम कार्ड ही है, मेरे बस पेमेंट ही करने का है, बिल. आई हैव नो से. एंड एकता कपूर हैज शोन दिस फॉर 30 years.
Correct.
कि कोई रोल ही नहीं है तुम्हारे, खाली बिल भरो. सो neither the parents are equipped with any skills nor can they teach any skills. और एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन के दरवाजे बंद कर दिए गए पेरेंट्स के लिए कि खाली तुम फीस भरने ही आओगे या डिक्टेट सुनने आओगे.
करेक्ट.
टीचर्स के जो खुद मार्केट में 1 रुपया भी नहीं कमा सकते, वो डिक्टेट दे रहे हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट. सो इफ यू वांट टू बिल्ड दैट बैक, पेरेंट्स हैव टू एम्पावर देमसेल्व्स फर्स्ट. पहले तो तुम दिखाओ कि तुम्हारा फाइनेंशियल स्टीयरिंग व्हील तुम्हारे हाथ में है. You successfully first demonstrate that, right? और उसके लिए सोसाइटी को सोचना पड़ेगा कि क्या हमको 95% वेल्थ 5% बिजनेसमैन के हाथ में चाहिए
या उल्टा.
हाँ, तो और फिर यू हैव टू ग्रूम योर चाइल्ड टू अ पॉइंट वेयर नॉट दैट यू आर गोइंग टू पुट योर मनी इन द स्टॉक्स.
Again, वो 5%, you're talking about the 5% today, and whether it is Dhirubhai, whether it is Adani, you see the founders were visionaries. They had a long-term vision and they had a drive. But will you be able to sustain that over the generations? Usually there's this rule. By 3rd generation, everything goes down. But there are few exceptions. Very few. But there are so many such, maybe not at the scale of.
That's happening. That can only happen because of lack of fathering. So if there is no fathering, that's obvious thing to happen. वो सिर्फ cash ही collect कर रहा है, right? So one fine day, I think Bangalore itself, I gave that speech, right?
Yes.
That Neeta Ambani has a career, but Mukesh doesn't. Right?
True. You mentioned that in
That's
Bangalore.
what I mentioned in one of my speeches.
Yes.
Because how much financial time you are giving to earn money, उसमें से कितना तुम्हारा नॉन फाइनेंशियल टाइम निकल के आ रहा है, दैट्स द रियल अर्निंग. ओके, तो पूरा अगर कैश कलेक्शन में जा रहा है तो देयर इज नो करियर.
Slightly different perspective on that. And I'm when you're saying this, I'm guilty of that too. I'll be very honest. To provide, to save cash. I'm guilty. I will not deny it. I don't spend as much time I would like to spend with my children. But I also see this. Spending time with the children is another way of investment. Emotional investment.
Correct.
Because the closer you are, when I look at both my father's side of the family and especially my mother's side of the family, my grandfather comes from a banking service, struggled, he grew up the ladder, but he always made sure that he was around to spend time with my mother, siblings, and that is paying off today. Because all of them are there, around. I can't think of a closer knit family anywhere in the world. I'm not just saying it with my family, but that's a fact. When you meet them, you will see. That's the investment. I rather.
Correct.
And somewhere I've lost my track. I'm being very, very honest. I've lost that track. I lost that
Most
vision.
fathers have, so.
Most fathers.
You are not an exception. So.
No, but I'm guilty of it. But thanks to you, this conversation, I've realized I'm going to fix it. That's there. Because I see that in my own family. We are so close. Like, we are literally in 1 to 2 kilometer radius. The support system.
Mostly the life skills come from the father. The life skills. It is father's responsibility. Also, children learn, at least the daughters learn when to start being aggressive, and sons learn when to stop being aggressive from the father. It's reverse. So fathering is a very important ingredient which is missing out in the society, particularly because that's how society has conditioned them for the last 30 years. The screen time or the content that is what they are showing. And then there are consequences of it, which the future spouses of the children will have to face as an outcome.
We're seeing that in this generation itself. अभी हो रहा है. We don't even have to think about our kids. Yeah, अभी हमारे generation में वो.
Correct.
We are seeing that.
Correct. And a lot of this delusion that
Delulu, as they call it.
The state will come to save you when the crisis comes. No constitution, no state, no judiciary, no police can give you any kind of rights. They can only give you a hearing after the incident happens with you. And that too, if you are lucky, you might get some compensation. You cannot get the rights. The only thing where you get your rights from is your community numbers. So if at one phone call, if you can't accumulate 50 people at a location, your right is gone. So this is something which all our listeners should understand, how important community strength is. And as I say, 95% of internal security is birth rates. People are very positive about it, and there are reasons about the governance to be positive as well. I myself am very positive about the government. But understand, tomorrow Modi ji won't be there. Tomorrow Yogi ji won't be there. Which is why birth rate is the only solution.
Correct. And that does have a kind of a direct correlation on the growth, the GDPs. Aging population, we've seen that in Japan.
Certainly, because none of the robots are going to buy products to make profits, right? Some human has to buy to make profits, right? रोबोट्स
बना सकते हैं, बेचने, कंज्यूम नहीं कर सकते.
कंजम्पशन के लिए बर्थ रेट चाहिए ना. So, if you are a society where you have deployed women as well into the job model, at least trapped in the fertile years of her life, certainly you are losing birth rates. And if you are losing birth rates, that has a security consequences across the region with the change in demography. As we see
that in China.
We see a lot of, I mean, here Kashmir, Bengal, Kerala, right? We already have examples where people don't even know that their properties are already being allocated on some Friday event. फिर 5-10 साल बाद पता चलता है कि ये तो AC रिपेयर नहीं करने आया था. He was looking at his own property. Future property
assess कर रहा है.
हाँ, वो assessment कर रहा है कि क्या दीवार पे क्या डालेगा वो. So we got to understand that there are real life repercussions of low birth rates in economics as well as in internal security. Which is why in ancient times the relationships which were maintained, as we know, there are many examples. Ancient Bharat, where the monarch would give his daughter to the son of another monarch just to ensure security of both the states.
Yes.
Because anything happens, both the states can combine the armies.
Correct.
Even at the local and the village level, it used to be like somebody coming from the village of the daughter would be considered brother.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So that ensures security of the entire village. Daughters of entire village.
Yes.
Right.
Not just that one.
No. So the relationships, how women tie relationships with the community, ensured 95% of the internal security during those times. That is how our philosophies devised strategies.
So it's been there. The playbook has been there. It's there in our scriptures. It's there in our history.
It's there. It's not decoded.
It's not decoded.
It's not decoded. Nobody is telling. क्योंकि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिख दिया है कि ये राइट्स है. सो पीपल आर अंडर अ डिल्यूजन के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन राइट देगा, बट कहीं पे आया नहीं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बचाने. इट हैज नेवर हैपेंड इन एनी, अपना कंट्री नहीं, इन एनी कॉर्नर ऑफ द प्लैनेट आई हैव नॉट सीन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कमिंग टू गिव यू राइट. सो द ड्राफ्टिंग एरर बोलो जो बोलो, योर राइट्स आर प्योरली योर बर्थ रेट्स एंड कम्युनिटी नंबर्स. अगर एक कॉल पे 50 लोग नहीं आते हैं उस लोकेशन पे, दैट डे योर राइट्स आर गॉन.
Rights are gone, safety वगैरह. But if I were to put an emotional context to it, or a business context to it,
an entrepreneur can give a call and 50 people will come. A jobber will give a call, nobody will come. Probably not even his wife. to be very honest, very blunt about it, his wife is also doubtful to save him.
I hope we don't get to that extreme situation. No, that would be scary. I mean, if we reach the stage,
because what happens is, since you are doing a business, तो आपको survive करने के लिए बहुत लोग interested है. Your employees are interested, your relatives are interested, और जिस community का वो business है, वो community members भी strength गिरने नहीं देना चाहते, तो वो भी हाजिर रहेंगे.
Correct.
एम्प्लॉय के लिए कोई हाजिर नहीं रहेगा. दूसरा खड़ा है लाइन में इंटरव्यू के लिए. Who will come? Nobody will come.
True. So my next question, I mean the next,
which is why ancient Bharat was very clear. कुल जाति वर्ण, family rights, family numbers, community numbers and occupational numbers. एकदम clear. If you have to give a contemporary example for this, suppose there is an accounts department in a company. तो ये अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट के जो एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, ये बाकी सारी कंपनीज के अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट के एम्प्लॉयज़ को कब एक साथ मिलेंगे? कभी नहीं. एक ही कंपनी के इवेंट पे हाजिर रहेंगे, लेकिन उसमें उसका कंपटीशन हो रहा है HR वाले के साथ, लॉ वाले के साथ, दूसरे वाले के साथ, तो उसका राइट्स तो गया. राइट. ओनली व्हेन अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ ऑल द कंपनीज मीट टुगेदर, then they can ensure the rights for that department. Right. इसीलिए वर्ण collaboration clear बोला गया है. Which is why I keep on giving this example कि महाराष्ट्र में जैसे ही कि आप किसी एयरपोर्ट पे उतरते हो, आपको क्लियर कार्टेल दिखता है, सारे कैब ड्राइवर्स सेम कम्युनिटी,
करेक्ट,
राइट. तो वर्ण कोलैबोरेशन बहुत साफ बताया गया है. चाहे कोई भी कॉस्ट पे हो रहा है, वर्ण कोलैबोरेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वो प्रोफेशन आपसे छीन जाएगा, वो वर्क आपसे छीन जाएगा, कार्टेल बना के आपका एक्सप्लॉयटेशन होगा, राइट. सो जॉब मॉडल में नॉट पॉसिबल, इन सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट मॉडल इट इज
नॉट पॉसिबल.
देख ही रहे सारे लेबर टास्क में, देख लो, एसी रिपेयर, लैपटॉप रिपेयर, फ्रिज रिपेयर, देख लो. अगर आज आपको सपोज रेशियो देखने को मिले कि भाई एसी रिपेयर में देर आर 3 हिंदूज एंड 7 मुस्लिम्स, 6 महीने बाद देखो तो इट्स ऑल ओवर,
इट्स रिवर्स्ड,
मारपीट के.
के.
सो दे आर फॉलोइंग द रूल टू द टी.
करेक्ट. And you see,
फैमिली स्ट्रेंथ, कम्युनिटी
Family
स्ट्रेंथ,
strength.
ऑक्यूपेशनल स्ट्रेंथ,
and that's something which is,
इट्स वर्किंग.
and I think it's time that we as a nation should
So,
come together
आप
to
देखो 50 प्लस इस्लामिक कंट्रीज, दे हैव अचीव्ड इट विद दैट फॉर्मूला. इट्स राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ योर आइज.
It, proof is there.
सनातन का फॉर्मूला है, दे हैव अडॉप्टेड, इट्स वर्किंग फॉर देम. आप लोग देख रहे हो, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का इंतजार कर रहे हो. आप लोग देख रहे हो कि भाई कंपनीज आएगी बचाने हैं, मेरे को कोविड होगा तो कंपनीज निकालेगी नहीं, इंतजार करो.
Ankit ji, now, I mean, we've been talking so much about the community. We're talking about the society in terms of growth, family, value system. With the advent of digital, the technology, so we all went through the entire last couple of hundreds of years. We've seen the industrial revolution come. And then now we are in the digital revolution as we see it. So, with this change, how should traditional businesses be prepared?
I think this is where this is something which is lacking in a lot of legacy businesses, where they are unable to tap the talent of the next generation or figure out to channelize their energy with the existing setup. This is lacking, which is where we are seeing a big problem, where a lot of youngsters just want to do some startups and then sell it and make quick cash, something like that, instead of putting in efforts like their grandfathers put. Also, the legacy business are stuck in a way where the family is used to function those operations in a particular fashion. And the new generation is not able to tally with those old styles.
Old styles. There's always that clash of the generations.
That is there. And then there's also a challenge about the market scenario for the existing businesses, where they have to quickly change and adapt or diversify. If they don't diversify, they have to give these opportunities of vertical and horizontal integration with the existing businesses, where grooming is becoming a problem for the next generation. You don't have the right set of people to groom the youngsters who are coming up. And probably the youngsters are not able to, as I said,
to meet the expectations.
Meet the expectations, demands of the old styles. Right? So this is where it is lacking. But overall, my understanding is once the global order changes, a lot of currency power comes to all the big four nations. Once that currency power comes, we will also be able to fuel innovation by giving a low rate of interest rate loans to our youngsters as well. And when we do that, that will create an environment where parents will be okay with failures, which the previous generation of parents were not okay with. फेलियर चलता ही नहीं है, मतलब 95 से ऊपर ही चाहिए. That mindset. मेरा बच्चा फेल नहीं होना चाहिए. That was the mindset. I think with that low rate of interest rate, that failure cycles would actually bring innovation.
And it's good to fail.
Yeah, that's how businesses evolve.
Correct. You can't have.
Nobody can have first shot.
Yeah, never.
No. All businesses require.
अगर first shot में हुआ तो fluke है.
Doubtful है.
Brilliant. I mean, there's a lot of lessons. So, I think as I mean, our generation, we are the mid generation. At least going forward, the next generation, we have to be very mindful of that. Train them to innovate.
And fail. Give them that window to fail,
And
which probably we didn't get, but then
yeah,
they are going
correct.
to be the ones.
They're going to be the ones who get that.
And they are the ones who are going to build the Viksit Bharat which the Prime Minister is envisaging. उनको करने का है.
हाँ.
Obviously they're going to enjoy the fruits of that as well. So certainly that generation, when that generation goes out of Bharat, visits outside Bharat, the amount of confidence they will have when they meet the counterparts. I mean, there's one Jai Shankar ji right now. There will be multitudes of Jai Shankar ji when these people go outside with that kind of confidence.
Yes.
Where now we have a base of Indic scholars who have at least started filling in the gaps. कि भाई एंशियंट जो स्टेटस था, बीच में जो गैप पड़ गया, लॉजिक नहीं मिल रहा है कि ऐसा क्यों था, क्या हुआ. नाउ द स्कॉलर्स आर राइटिंग एंड व्हेन दिस पीपल विल कम आउट दिस बंच आफ्टर रीडिंग दिस, दैट कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल वुड बी वेरी डिफरेंट, राइट. उसको कोई दबा नहीं पाएगा बाहर, because there will be answers to give, right? You can slap back the answers. And that world will be very, very different.
And the answers are embedded with logic, backed by facts.
Correct.
And not just because it's been fed.
No.
That's going to be some generation.
Well, they are actually going to live that Bharat.
Bharat, the dream.
Haan.
So, Ankit ji, last question. I know, no discussion is complete because you're known as the concept man. You're known for your predictions. No discussion would be complete. I know today I'm sure audience, you all came with the hope of, listening to us discuss geopolitics and all that, but this has been a very different, different conversation. But I don't want to disappoint them either. What's the next prediction?
Well, specifically regarding
geopolitics, De-Dollarization.
Well, you will see a lot of inheritance of Chinese technology and investment in Bharat.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be surprised if the number of people flying to Moscow and Beijing, Shanghai, would outnumber the number of people going to the West.
That's interesting. Okay. You want to elaborate a bit more on that? Now I'm really curious. I think this discussion is going to go for another 10. I don't know how long.
No. So at the end of the day, they have lost the birth rates in the blind pursuit of the dollar. So the way the global order was designed was the United States printed currency and it was demonic consumption. And they made China do demonic production. So both of them destroyed families. One with the abuse of labor and single child policy, the other with misbehavior with each other because of free money. Both of them destroyed families. Now what happens is the Chinese are at a point where they will have to start thinking about their cultural connect with ancient Bharat, which is where Xi Jinping, I think from 2023, started transitioning, where he's removed Leninism, Marxism from the state content. The next step, obviously, is the Chinese and the Russian people learning Hindi. After that, because it's only Bharat would be able to teach them Dharma. So I think it's the food habit of the Chinese which should start changing post 2030. Anything that has four legs they eat, especially after the blanket removal of dharmic practices with the Cultural Revolution.
Correct.
So post 2030, as Bhartiyas start visiting, they start demanding Jain food, vegetarian food, our food products entering China. I think a lot of relief to the animals and insects and birds and whatnot in China. And eventually, since they have lost the birth rates, what happens is, just like Japan is offering, permanent residency
to Indians.
to Indians.
Yes.
They've lost the birth rates. The Chinese, I don't know about permanent residency, but the Chinese will be more open about our complete access to the Tibet Autonomous Region, which we call as occupied Tibet, clearly. Kailash, as we say, is the abode of Bhagwan Shiva. So absolutely no state can claim a sovereign right over that piece of land. This is our stand. Okay?
Perfect.
That's the abode of Bhagwan Shiva. And there is no compromise or no scope of negotiation when it comes to this. Complete access, unconditional access to Bharatiya pilgrims for the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. That means the entire, the number of days we want to stay in the Tibet Autonomous Region, the number of trade delegations we want to send, the number of festivals dharmic festivals that we want to do within China. This has to increase in terms of approvals, because at the end of the day, the New World Order means less and less of exports to the West, which is more and more integration with Bharat. And that should ideally convert into more spreading of Dharma by China rather than Bharat. Because understand, Chinese is a built-in giant machinery. And once a Chinese state takes a direction, it's going to spread Dharma 10 times faster than Bharat.
True. They have it's bullheaded.
Ji, bilkul. So I won't be surprised if that is what happens. And Southeast Asia is going to become that focal point where Bharat and China both are going to fight with each other to spread Dharma. Both are going to compete. So you're already seeing some static signals where Buddha relics are being sent to different countries in Southeast Asia. And the Chinese are like, wait, what's this? This is our area. It's our area of influence. And we have Buddhism as well, Taoism, etc. So why is only Bharat doing
this?
Yeah. So that's going to be a good Asian century. It looks like there cannot be a Chinese century without it being a Bharatiya century.
It's a new world order.
New world order is what Asia is going to dictate to the rest of the world.
Brilliant. So, Ankitji, I know there's lots more that we want to kind of talk, and I know we can go on, but thanks for doing this. There is, I don't know, it's been an eye-opener for a non-economics student or anyone who's not too inclined, but just been interested in it. But this has been a very refreshing conversation, because all our conversations so far with our guests have been about creativity, about various other topics, but this is something very new to us. And we thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for doing this. And I'm hoping that the viewers also enjoy this conversation, because they got to see a very different side of you. So hope we'll do many more such conversations and interactions in the future. Thanks a ton for doing this. Jai Shri Ram. For all of you who have watched and stayed with us till the end, thanks for doing that, because it was something new for me. I had to admit, a topic that has been very interesting, and I hope you found this topic, this conversation interesting, and hope it triggered to keep your mojo alive. This is Mayur Channagere signing off.